Hey everybody, this is Runner as always. I'm trying to keep this to the point, and, hi kitty. Every time I start talking, you come over here. My day could have gone better. I initially went to, my skill building worker's office, and we tried to use the printer there. That didn't work out. So we had to go to the library. And the sweet librarian, God bless her heart, I went up to her and I'm like, I need to print some crime scene evidence. And she's like, do you want it in black and white or do you want it in color? And I'm like, how about color? I paid mostly in quarters. And so that's 2 places already that I've been to. And then we go to a third place, the sheriff department, and I tell them my name, and I tell them I'm here to report a crime that happened in 2021. And they were like, where did this take place? And I'm like, Texas. And they're like, where do you live? And I gave them my address, and they said, okay, go to this sheriff's department. So we went to that sheriff's department, and they asked me a couple questions, and then they went back to their supervisor, and then they had their supervisor come out and say, unfortunately, as much as they would love to help, they cannot take a police report that didn't happen in their county, and I have to contact the county that it happened in, which is in Texas. And I went to 4 places before figuring that out, and I spent like $9 on printing out photos of injuries and then being very careful not to accidentally flash someone those photos. I had to go through the photos to make sure every single one got printed. Especially the most traumatic one, which was right in the middle, so I had to go through each and every one individually. I tried skimming and it didn't work. I couldn't find it. I had to go through individually and find it. But hey, printing 81 images for only $8.80. That's amazing. She put 2 photos per page to save me money. You know? That's so nice of her. And I brought my stuffed animal. I walked into the police station with it and everything. And my stuffed animal today is sprayed with peppermint cashmere by EOS, not a sponsor. God, that would be a disturbing thing to sponsor. Anyway, yeah, let the fragrance company that I use for aromatherapy sponsor me to talk about my mental health problems. But, where was I? Yeah, so the police were real helpful as much as they could, but their hands are tied, just like mine. I can't tell you the details of what's going to be in the police report. I can't say the details publicly. You're welcome to ask me questions about what happened. But I may not always be able to give you the full answer. And hopefully in a couple more years I will be able to give you a full answer and write a book about this all. So I come home from going to those 4 different places. Yeah, I had like 30 minutes after getting home and taking the medication I take when I get home in the afternoon. I waited 30 minutes for it to kick in, and then I made a decision on whether or not I wanted to call the county in Texas and say, hey, here's my number. And I decided today was the day I was going to do it, and I did. So the ball is in their court. I'm not going to say which county just yet. I don't want y'all to harass them. And, like, I don't know. I could have a stalker that's watching my YouTube, who hates me and wants to wreak mayhem and cause distrust of me or something. So I'm keeping the location private for now, but it is a larger city in Texas, so it may be a while before an officer is available to take the report. I might try emailing them and asking them if we could streamline this, because they could send me a question and I could video record my answer and send them the answer. And they could get to it at their own convenience and then ask me the next question and so on and so forth. But I don't think the law works that way, so they'll have to get back to me at their own earliest convenience, and they're handling a lot. And I don't want to... There are important details I need to report. However, my personal vendetta does not... Seeking justice for something that's not currently occurring does not take priority over public safety. So, whatever the police are up to that they can't get to me right away, I understand. However, I am very stubborn. I'm not going to let this drop. In April and September, there were 2 different incidences that I have photos of injuries, and they're both caused by the same person. And after seeing the injuries in my camera roll in the Google Cloud, I can barely sleep. I can barely eat. I feel like I stumbled across human remains, and I don't have an explanation of what happened exactly. And I'm trying to get the authorities to come get the remains and investigate. And initially I was snowed in, so I've been waiting until now, when the snow was melted enough for my skill building worker to come get me. I've been waiting until today to do this police report. And I could have just been on this phone number wait list since the 27th, if I had thought ahead. That's okay. I couldn't have known any better. I did my best. I'm gonna gather my thoughts, but I'm not gonna pause. Let's sit for a minute in silence to honor all those who did not make it out after domestic violence. I suppose I do understand why I feel that way. It's not just that I'm dissociating. The feeling like I discovered remains and the cavalry has yet to be alerted that they need to come. And like it feels like I sent a letter by like mail, and the Pony Express is taking it to Texas. Um, Even though that's not how it works anymore. Um, Not that I was alive back then or anything. I'm not a vampire. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, I guess the reason it feels like I discovered human remains is because the person who inhabited this body back in 2021, it is obvious towards September, that towards the middle end of September of 2021, and this all has been going on since March. And the first injury I have proof of is in April. In September, whoever I was back then gathered enough evidence that my next of kin could have solved my murder with just my camera roll. Uploaded to the cloud so that if my device was destroyed, which it was eventually, and almost stolen at one point, but I got it back. I fought hard to get it back. But anyway, the person who inhabited this body back then was accepting of the fact that they were not going to make it out of that relationship alive. And when they did, they couldn't cope with reality, and now it's my body. So I don't have memories myself of 2021, but I have photographs and I have alters who are willing to tell me. I guess I'm a protector of sorts. For those of you who know DID, internal family system stuff, there's a type of alter called a protector who looks out for other alters. I guess I'm some sort of protector who's able to function to a facsimile of a apparently normal person. ANP. Oh yeah. Kitty, what are you doing? Okay. She made the activation noise. I don't know why. Why? Why are you scratching up my leather? But yeah, that's the update on all that, since I know I left y'all hanging in that video about how I got my eyebrow scar. I have made the motions that I am capable of making on my own with assistance from literally a social worker, and I'm pretty sure she's like allowed to like, I've never asked her to do this because I don't like asking for handouts if I can avoid it. I like giving out the handouts. But anyway, I'm pretty sure she's like allowed to charge my insurance money on my behalf for her services. And if that includes printing the color pages at the library instead of just what I can afford, hypothetically, like let's say if I went there and I only had so much money and I needed $1 more, she could probably charge my insurance $1 for me to print at the library. But I don't know. I don't know how it all works. That's just how previous similar services worked. So I had, literally government assigned help to get all this done, and short of flying down to Texas and going in person to their department, I've done all I can, and it feels hard to accept that I did not achieve what I set out to achieve today. But I know that I did my best. I don't remember if I mentioned it in my video about how I got my eyebrow scar, but this person who I'm making the report about is much older than me, to the point that only now, at my age of 28, is he only twice my age. He used to be more than twice my age. And now he's only twice my age. So... that song, Like a Stone. Let me read you the lyrics real quick. This song is called Like a Stone. It's by Audioslave, and it's from 2002. On a cobweb afternoon, in a room full of emptiness, by a freeway, I confess, I was lost in the pages of a book full of death, reading how we'll die alone, and if we're good, we'll lay to rest anywhere we want to go. In your house, I long to be, room by room, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone. I'll wait for you there, alone. And on my deathbed, I will pray to the gods and the angels, like a pagan to anyone who will take me to heaven, to a place I recall. I was there so long ago. The sky was bruised, the wine was bled, and there you led me on. In your house I long to be, room by room, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone. I'll wait for you there, alone. It's about wanting to haunt your ex for the rest of their life. And by golly gosh, I guess I'm gonna haunt him. I just feel bad for everybody else that I have to drag into this to get this done. There are names and numbers that I screenshotted that the police will have to investigate. At their own discretion, of course, but... Thanks for watching. I will keep y'all updated. I think I'm gonna hop in the shower and get off all this anxiety sweat that's all over my hands and my feet. I don't know. Let me look at my wardrobe that's available, because I did wash a lot of laundry. I might be able to change into something clean, but if not, I only wore this today. So it's clean enough to rewear. But yeah, let me take a shower and then, what time is it? It's only 7 p.m. I'm gonna do makeup. Um, I'll have to figure out what makeup to do, but I'm gonna try my best to do makeup after my shower. If I do makeup, I will record it and post it for y'all. Uh, Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye.